お前を助けてやるから俺を助けろ。やっぱ俺も死にたくねえ。
What the hell is even that?
Hi y'all, I'm Bayfond, and I promise you, the rest of this play is not as weird as that first scene is. I think. And today, I bring you another series that's fallen prey to the ever so recent trend of every anime and manga needing to receive a live-action stage play adaptation. Here in point, Chainsaw Man the Stage. A live theatrical performance of Fujimoto's Chainsaw Man. Because of course, when I think Chainsaw Man, I think big musical numbers, big set pieces, costumes, designs. The pizzazz is there. But unlike the other stage adaptations that I've been talking about on this channel, this one isn't actually a musical. It's a straightforward, clear-cut drama. With, of course, comedic elements because it's Chainsaw Man. And it leads to some pretty surprising accuracy to the source material. And I definitely do think that this is a shame because Denji definitely had the chops to give it his all.
Wow, 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 wow.
But yeah, if you were ever in the mood asking yourself when a live action Chainsaw Man movie was gonna be made, well, look no further because this is the closest you're probably gonna ever get. It's weird, it's wacky, it's expensive, and it's well reviewed. An adaptation that's had a lot of hard work put in, no matter how unnerving some scenes might look. Oof. You know, in the anime and the manga, I definitely get the appeal of Kobeni, but then when you bring her into live action and have an actress act like that in real life, it really isn't the most, I guess, comfortable. This stage play premiered on September 16th in Tokyo. It's a fairly recent production, so if you want to catch a glimpse of this online, it's gonna be pretty hard to do so. If you looked on Bilibili a while ago, you know, like before in YouTube, you would have been able to find at least like a good big chunk of the play. But from what I can tell, it's been completely removed, so I apologize in advance for the clips that I'm gonna show you because they're not gonna be the most high quality ones out there. I think it's gonna take us more than a minute to get the play in its entirety uploaded somewhere we can actually view it. And as I mentioned previously, it's a very, very accurate adaptation of Chainsaw Man. But of course, in one stage play, you're not gonna be able to cover the entirety of the story, so the parts that it does cover is pretty much the same that the anime did. I don't know, it feels like this, instead of it being like a in general adaptation of the manga, it feels like this is more of a complete reenactment of how the anime had its events lined up. So I definitely think that they just saw, hey, the anime, we know how that works. That's probably gonna be easier to adapt and flesh out than just reading the manga. So if you know Chainsaw Man, then you know pretty much what to expect here. Blood, gore, devils, devil hunters, it's got it all. But I think what's really interesting about this stage play is how it tries to implement all of those big, larger than life elements. Because, of course, for a series like Chainsaw Man, your first question is, how the hell are you gonna adapt all of those devils and monsters that are in the series? And its solution is frankly probably one of the most simplest answers to the entire medium. Puppetry. Every devil or monster that isn't a zombie is a whole bunch of people grabbing parts and making it come to life. It's the only thing that's gonna bring something that's not gonna look corny like a guy in a costume. The Bat Devil looks like it's been completely roided out, and the Ghost Devil over here has every single one of its appendages moved by the people that are controlling the entire puppet. It fits, it works. It's a good, interesting way of bringing these things to life. It's more creative and more fun. I think that this play doesn't really take itself as seriously as other things might. And that's all in the same vein as Chainsaw Man. I mean, they're not really trying to make an effort to hide these people's faces. I mean, here in the Chainsaw Man versus the Bat Devil fight, Chainsaw Man gets up on another person to just try and reenact the movements. It is what it is. And while we're talking about Chainsaw Man themselves, let's talk about the main cast, who, I'd say in all fairness, did a pretty good job in terms of how they're portraying their characters. No one feels offbeat to their manga or anime counterpart. And again, that's for better and worse. Power is absolutely identical, down to her laugh. Her actress really puts a lot of energy into this role. But again, I think there's something really unnerving about seeing Kobeni cry in live action. It hits different in a wrong way. But that actress still can portray Kobeni's badassery whenever it's needed. So it's not like she's lacking in any department. The only thing that you'd probably say is that Akili looks like he's in his 30s instead of being in his early 20s at the latest. And that it's a shame that they couldn't get Mads Mikkelsen to portray Kishibe. You know, but you can't win every battle. What I think is interesting is what they did with Chainsaw Man himself, Denji. Because Denji as an actor, he's the main guy that's just walking around interacting with all of the characters, but whenever he transforms, he has two separate people that fill in that spot. I mean, it's pretty obvious to see that the guy that is Chainsaw Man isn't the guy that plays Denji. I mean, it's not like they could fool anyone, and they're not trying to fool anyone. In some scenes, the transformation is just Chainsaw Man stepping in front of Denji as he walks off stage. And I get it, it saves any kind of pause that you need to do makeup and costumes. And the fact that there are two people in the role of Chainsaw Man means that this role that takes so much physical effort is being able to get split up evenly among the actors. So it's not gonna be as hard a job as it normally would. Yeah, the actor that has to play Chainsaw Man has to move and jump around quite a bit. And all these big fight sequences are really made possible because of the lighting and the screens that are used to portray all the special effects. You can't really have the fox that Aki summons anytime that he does gon. So it becomes more of a sound effect with the stage turning and changing whenever he does it. And when blood and guts are just being thrown around, it's in a special area where basically those things are gonna actually hit a glass instead of having to hit the audience and make the entire thing not as enjoyable as what most people would want when they come to a theater performance. The only other times that I've seen something like this being done is for the American Psycho musical, and they did it in that performance because they needed to showcase the brutality in some way, because a live action performance of American Psycho without any blood wouldn't really be a performance of American Psycho at all. Same thing here too. And I'm also a pretty big fan of the choreography and how it was handled in this entire thing. Again, the actors have to do a lot of timing to get into position and do everything right. And again, when it comes to the actors that portray Chainsaw Man, they have to really nail it because they have to climb and get over things to try and actually fulfill all the motions they need to do. And I would say one of the best sequences that I can actually show you guys about how the choreography is really good in this is during the sneak attack by the Katana Devil. The slow motion and the tension in this is really well done. The actors have performed this so many times that they've nailed and mastered how to really get that slow motion feel down up to the point where it catches up with the real time again. It looks like we're watching reality being sped up in front of us. I think overall it's pretty cool. The only things that I can kind of say that are a little bit negative are that sometimes the story's a little bit too faithful to the anime. And that really only comes in certain fight sequences. Like when it's Chainsaw Man versus Katana Man, the fight takes place in a train. So in order to showcase that, they kind of block off a portion of the fight by having Chainsaw Man and Katana Man on the other side of the train that we can see. So we're missing out on a little bit of choreography there, but you know, it's not the end of the world because of that. Just small little nitpicks like that. And overall, when looking at like forums and YouTube channel comments of people that have actually gone and seen this live action adaptation, people have absolutely adored it. I don't know if that's because Chainsaw Man fans are a die-hard audience or because theatergoers actually really enjoy the experience. It has some of the best reviews that I've seen for any stage play adaptation. And I wonder if that's also due to the fact that they didn't shove music into here. Oh well, actually, I spoke too soon. Yeah, when they close out the play, they do a little musical number. Is it enough for me to call this thing a musical? Absolutely not. But it's a fun little send-off for everything. I've only been able to really catch glimpses and pieces of the entire play here. I've not been able to see the entire thing myself, and I really want to. But for now, I think that's all I've got when talking about this show. Have you heard about this play? Or actually, have you gone and actually seen this play in person? If you have, please let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I was Bayfond, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.